Meanwhile, Ulta Beauty is now under fire. This is a beauty company, and it's under fire because it has now started posting clips of a transgender woman, meaning a man, named Dylan Mulvaney, talking about being a woman and wearing makeup. Here's a little bit of the clip.
Now I know I can find love. I know I can still be a performer. I know that I can have a family. I want to be a mom one day. And I absolutely can. And that's why the narrative still has a long way to go, because when I was grieving Boy Dylan, I didn't know those things were even accessible to me.
They're not accessible to you. You can't be a woman. And I'm sorry to break it to you, but you actually cannot. The fact that this is remotely controversial is absolutely beyond me. But again, the idea here for so many people on the left is that anyone who denies you your internal sense of what you are is discriminating against you. In fact, Ulta put out a statement, quote, "The premise of The Beauty Of is to feature conversations that widen the lens surrounding traditional beauty standards." Well, I mean, it seems to me kind of important that if you're a beauty company, you uphold the standard of females being beautiful and that females exist. That seems like a basic one. But apparently, just putting men on your shows to talk about how they too can be a mother, that's in no way demeaning of women. Amazing. So you can just slap on some makeup, raise your voice a couple of pitches, and then say that you're a woman, and we're supposed to all just kind of nod and go along with it. They say, quote, "We believe beauty is for everyone. And while we recognize some conversations we host will challenge perspectives and opinions, we believe constructive dialogue is one important way to move beauty forward. The intersectionality of gender identity is nuanced." Ooh, that's a lot of buzzwords. "Something Dylan and David acknowledge themselves within the episodes. Regardless of how someone identifies, they deserve our respect." Well, I mean, you shouldn't hurt people, but no, you don't deserve my respect as in my acceptance that you're a woman if you are not a woman. Nothing says that you're entitled to this at all. This is one of those areas we talked a little bit earlier about on the show. The disconnect between the wild woke of Twitter and the rest of the world. And part of this is pressed on by elements of the media who are trying to get those blue checks to simply laud them. You get this a lot from Jon Stewart, right? Jon Stewart did an interview recently with the lieutenant governor of a Republican state in which he grilled her about her anti-trans activism, and everybody cheered. "Oh, it's so amazing, Jon Stewart. Oh." Okay, now John Oliver is jumping on that train as well. Here is John Oliver trying to suggest that men can be women and women can be men. Of course. I mean, it's just common sense.
But set aside the notion that it is worth sacrificing protections for a vulnerable group to chase a winning formula. Let's also remember that it's not actually the left talking about trans rights non-stop. It's Republicans who see an advantage in demagoguing this issue. And to ignore them doing that is to allow them to have real calamitous impact on people's lives. A few years ago, Vice profiled a girl named Kai Shapley, and just watch how happy she is talking about her hopes for a future until she remembers something that changes her mood.
"Mom says I might grow up to be the president."
Yeah? Mm-hmm. What would you change about the world if you were president?
Let trans people be free and go to the bathroom they want to go to.
Are you able to use the girls' bathroom at school?
No. And now they just put security guards for the bathroom security or whatever. Oh, I hate that.
That is brutal. It is so dark, it's genuinely hard to watch.
It's amazing how our comedy set has now morphed into actual Democratic-leaning legislators. It's pretty astonishing. All right, we've reached the end of today's show. We'll be back here with much, much more tomorrow. This is The Ben Shapiro Show.